Deontay Bay, peace and blessings to the collective. Rahu in the fifth, Ketu in the 11th. So what is this actually speaking to? You know what I'm saying? What is it about? What is the purpose of it? You feel me? How does one properly channelize their Rahu and Ketu placement in order to reach a sense of stasis or balance within itself, right? So getting to it, to nutshell it, at least, in my opinion or interpretation, I feel like this axis is basically about confusion and imbalance in relation to one's own inner king versus one's inner revolutionary. And I'm gonna break that down. So the 11th house, we're gonna start with the K2 end of this axis. So the 11th house is the revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? The 11th house is the higher echelon house, the futuristic house, the house of evolution, the house of advancement, the house of going beyond and against, you know what I'm saying, the traditions or the normal traditions and systems of government within the culture and whatnot, right? Going against authority. You feel me? Whether for the right reason or whether for the wrong reason. You know what I'm saying? It's about evolution. It's supposed to be about uplifting humanity and those types of things or whatnot, right? Aligning oneself with uh I guess you could say a higher organization, you feel me, a social cause, you feel me, surrounding yourself in a circle of people with a mission, you feel me. Don't necessarily always have to be, it definitely depends upon the 11th Lord and what the rest of the chart is speaking to, but you feel me, to on the highest aspect, you feel me, it's aligning the self with individuals who seek a common cause or purpose. That is for actual benefit, right? It's not necessarily something that's just maniacal or trivial. Uh so with K2 and 11th, it can showcase a person that, pretty much has a high level of mastery and innate ingrained information or intelligence in relation to this area. You feel me? Have a lot of experience in relation to this area within previous lifetimes or whatever. So it also deals with the 11th house, also deals with gains and breakthroughs. You know what I'm saying? Breaking past and beyond limitations. So it can showcase K2 and 11 a person who, knows how to get to the gains. You know what I'm saying? Knows how to you know, uh, set their mind on a particular target or idea, something that might feel far fetched or something that might feel out of the picture, and knows how to get there and obtain that particular desired thing or gain. You feel me? A person who has a naturally rebellious mindset, you feel me? A person who might struggle uh, with authority, authoritative figures and things of that nature. This is the Rahu and Ketu in the 11th fifth house axis period. For real, for real. Whether no matter which one is on either side, you feel me? Like it's going to have a struggle with authority, obeying authority as it is. You know what I'm saying? Going to have a struggle with challenging authority and feeling like uh need to do things a different way, a higher way, a more futuristic or a more evolved way and whatnot, right? So with K2 and the 11th, it can showcase a person who has those natural qualities and abilities about themselves. But within this particular lifetime, uh, Rahu being embedded in the fifth house, it can showcase, an imbalance in a relationship in regards to the parental cultivation. So your parents, you feel me, it might have been a real challenge for your parents. You might have not been as accepted, respected, or cultured, you know what I'm saying, properly, or fed, what am I trying to say, respected, accepted. You might have not been as respected, accepted, and cultured by your parents as you would have liked to been. By cultured, I mean, you feel me, they might have not necessarily fed you the information or the talents or the abilities or the skills to survive in the world that you would have desired them to do so. But with Rahu in the fifth, it showcases the person has a real intelligence and a real cunning ability to, you know, teach themselves a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Rahu in the fifth, let me slow down. The fifth house, it deals with the bloodline. Like the fifth house is past life punya, past life good karma. It deals with the genetic blessings of the bloodline, the genetic blessings of the lineage that trickle down to you, that you inherit naturally. This is why fifth house is also a house of inheritance. And you feel me? You basically you get to reap the fruit off of doing nothing. You might have done something in previous lifetimes to arrive to the particular point of blessing, but as for this lifetime, you did nothing. These are just things that you inherit, you know, talents, gifts, and whatnot that you inherit from your forefathers that you can make use of, you know. The fifth house is a kingly house, you know what I'm saying? It's a, and when you think about a king doesn't, you know, have to fight or have to do 10,000 push-ups, or a king doesn't really have to prove himself to come into a position of kingship. You just have to. It's an act of inheritance. You know, you got to be the firstborn, or you know what I'm saying. You just got to be of that family and alive. Basically, it's given. You know what I'm saying. It's not something that you have to work for. Not only being a king, not only with that inheritance. You feel me? It all my fault. Brain fart, but not only receiving that inheritance by birthright or just by, you know, genetic ancestral blessing, it's also blessings through teachings, information. You feel me? Because when it comes to a king as a prince, matter of fact, you feel me? Growing up, the prince or the next king in line, he gets the best teachers. He gets prepared with the best informations, the best schools. You know what I'm saying? The best tutors, the best disciplines in order to properly structure him, in order to properly build him into the character of kingship so that he will be efficient in his ability to delegate, you know, rule and be the authoritative figure of that particular kingdom. So with Rahu in the fifth, it can showcase a person that has a real interest and a real, you know, focus and obsession with, you know, history, cultural lineage, you know what I'm saying? Their ancestors or their forefathers, you feel me? You know, the practices and traditions in regards to, you know, not even just the family traditions, but spirituality as well, and reviving or bringing back lost forms of traditions, you know what I'm saying? Things that might not have necessarily been maintained in the family through practice or, you know, things like that and whatnot, right? Bringing it back. It might have been lost. Your mom or your father or your parents might have not instilled this information within you, but you have a desire to search for those types of informations. You feel me? And you know, now you bringing it right back. Maybe let's say maybe your great great grandmother was a root worker, or you know, into Santeria or whatever the fuck, right? And pretty much after her, people just decided to drop that shit and, you know, we're gonna live the American way. Well, with you having Rahu in the fifth, you know, you might just have a naturally drawn innate connection to revive that or to re-explore that. You know what I'm saying? Rahu in the fifth will give a person interest in different traditions and cultural systems anyway. I'll give a person an interest in you know, different spiritual systems as well, you know. Real interest in knowledge. Rahu in the fifth, you know, it's the fifth house they say is the house of speculative gains, but it's not necessarily that. When you think of the fifth house or when you think of the king's house, right? The king, it rules, he rules many different areas and functions of the kingdom. He pretty much has the last say on everything that goes within that kingdom. So, the waterworks or the kingdom's plumbing, the farming and agriculture, the construction projects, the school system, what is being taught or implemented within the education system. Not only that, the military, right? You feel me? Or military decisions. Do y'all go to war with the neighboring kingdom? What is the size of their army? What is the size of their kingdom? You feel me? How competent is their leader? You feel me? And the king. So basically, what I'm saying that the king kind of has like you have to have like a speculative mindset, a sharply speculative mindset in order to be a proper king and a successful king. You have to know how to vet certain situations. You have to know how to to gamble for real. Because I mean, managing a kingdom is really a gamble. It's just an intelligent form of gambling, a technical form of gambling. You can go to war with the neighboring kingdom. You feel me? It's not necessarily a given that you will win. It's merely a speculation. You feel me? It's a question mark. Now you can do a good amount of speculation or research to you can get to a point to where they only have 12 soldiers. You know what I'm saying? And the majority of their population is is women and children. You know, and they all broke as fuck. So it's not necessarily guaranteed that you can win that kingdom over, but you can pretty much that's pretty you can pretty much bet that yeah we can fuck them niggas over, you feel me? And that's the thing about the speculative gains of the fifth house. uh Being able to 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 delegate tasks and to make decisions to further the welfare, the glory, and the strength of the kingdom. When it comes to Rahu in the fifth, it can give a person a great intelligence in regards to in modern days time, uh areas of getting money in regards to like fucking forex, right? Or cryptocurrency, right? Stocks, options, you know, anything in regards to that, any blockchain activity, anything in regards to that's my fault, anything that's easily calculatable through mathematics, those type of speculative gains. You feel me? Great for the fifth house, but the fifth also deals with uh leading, leadership, authority, governance. How do you lead your children? How do you govern your children? What are the rules? What are the customs? What are the traditions that you instill to your children? Not only to your children, but those who might look up to you or those who might be under you. You feel me? Even if you're a supervisor at the workplace, or you know what I'm saying. Even if you could be a fucking gang leader, yo. This shit it translates into the different areas of life in so many ways. But you feel me? As a leader, how do you disseminate knowledge into those that's under you? Knowledge and guidance. You feel me? With Rahu in the fifth, it's not necessarily the best for that, because that takes a degree of righteousness, piousness, and emotional intelligence. We're stepping out of the realm of pure mathematics. Now, on the one hand, you can the children on the one hand, the children may have a greater than average intelligence with Rahu in the fifth, especially if Rahu is in strength, right? If the person has children. But on the downside, with Rahu in the fifth, as the person had, struggles and dynamic with their parents, as far as in being respected or properly received by their parents, they may experience that self same theme or narrative with their children. You know what I'm saying? Not feeling like they're properly respected by the children, or not feeling like, you know what I'm saying, that connection is there 100%. You know what I'm saying? it'll probably be a deal of confusion surrounding with, you feel me, how do I raise, or how do I properly, cultivate this younger version of myself and whatnot. Uh, Rahu in the fifth. Rahu in the fifth, real centered on authority and the glory, also the creative expression in the glory of the fifth house. Because you got to remember, the the king is the hardest worker and simultaneously the laziest worker, or the nigga who does no work. You feel me? It's like a mental fucking work. Like, he's responsible for all of these different projects and forms of management, but at the same time, he's not actually the one who's doing the groundwork, or he's not actually the one who's making the shit move within the kingdom. He's not actually building the houses. So when it comes to Rahu in the fifth, uh, the king loves, glorious pursuits, being royal, eating the best of food, having access to the best of women, or in the best of circles, and glory, diamonds, and jewelry, and gemstones, and you feel me, the best of presentation, garnering the best of respects, and due process, and all of that. Rahu in the fifth can make a person, very much uh, uh, desiring to receive that kingly type of attention, and it can make a person desiring to fill that particular role or seat, which is nothing is wrong with it. You know, I would say for this placement, it'd definitely be good if in this day and age, it'd definitely be good if a person is an artist of some sort. Like if you're putting your natural talents and abilities out into the world, you know what I'm saying? If you look good as well, if you look good, that's gonna make it like 10,000 times better with Rahu in the fifth, right? Because that's gonna come easy, but it's a downside to that as well, you feel me? Once you start getting that glory, or once you start getting that respect or that attention that you desire, it can inflate the ego. It can lead to over inflation of the personality, which will eventually cause problems within that particular axis. Uh, so this Rahu in the fifth, Ketu in the 11th axis. What is the medium? What is the point of mediation, or how does one reach balance with it? Uh, don't make it all about you or your glory. Uh, K2 is trying to detach from certain things in the 11th house. One thing that it's trying to detach from is the cold and sacrificial nature. You know what I'm saying? And kind of feel like its own identity is getting sacrificed for the greater group, or the organization or whatnot. So K2 and 11th, you feel me? You don't just want to give that up though. Like the higher friend circle or the organization, you want to align yourself with quote unquote other kings if possible. You still want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to feel no type of competition or jealousy, or you don't want to feel like you're lowering yourself, or you don't want to feel these things. Like, you feel me? It's always good and great to surround yourself, with great people when you can find them. And with K2 and 11th, you're generally going to do that. You're generally going to have access, you know what I'm saying, to people that you feel are great or respectable, in some type of way, you know. Uh, with Rahu in the fifth, definitely don't become overly engrossed or drunk, in the fifth house passions, and the fifth house creativities, and the fifth house pursuits and whatnot. Definitely don't ego delegate. don't don't make decisions out of, well, all right, do you know who I am? Or you feel me, I'm this, that, and the third, or you feel me, I'm your dad, or I'm your mom, or you feel me? Like, don't make decisions out of ego. If you're going to pursue a particular speculative gain, or you're going to lay down a particular rule or law, make sure that it is in truth, aligns with truth, and is sensible, not just because it appeases your ego or it appeals to what you want for your person. Uh, Rahu in the fifth, Rahu and Ketu in the fifth, you're going to revive some traditions within the culture, but at the same time, you're going to evolve them and take them further as well. Uh, what else? Uh, oh yeah, we can one example chart that I got for this is Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of, I think, some state in India. I don't know exactly. I did a little research on him. Bear with me, my Indian, friends or, subscribers who might come across this channel or whatnot. Please bear with me. I do not want to sound entirely ignorant in my dissertation of this man, but I did the minimum amount of research on his life, to see because he has Rahu in the fifth and Ketu in the 11th, and his particular axis. No, this is not Modi. This is that's Modi. Where's Modi's birth chart? There we go. Okay, so he has Rahu in the fifth, but it's not situated so well. It's in Pisces, right? Rahu was kind of in like a fall or in a weakened state within Pisces. So both, and this was my interpretation, or this is these are some things that I said to myself before I actually looked into his life, certain you know uh events within his political journey and all that and whatnot, right? But I was saying, with this Rahu in the fifth, with this Rahu in Pisces or whatnot, uh it can be it can bring miscalculations and delegation that can lead to more problems than gain, right? Or can lead to basically making a mess, making a worse situation or whatnot, right? Uh, Not going off this particular axis. Now he does have a strong 11th house. You feel me? Especially with Mercury there. Mercury is thumb bound, being with K2. You feel me? And the Sun is there as well. So make no mistake, this is a this is a highly intelligent personality. Modi is not a regular person at all. Uh, you know, Not only that, Modi is definitely an occult individual, but I'm not going to get into the rest of his chart. We're just going off of this particular axis, but to show y'all how this Rahu Ketu 5th 11th axis speaks to his particular life. Getting to it, Modi was appointed chief minister of Gujarat and elected to the legislative assembly soon after. His administration is considered complicit in the 2002 Gujarat riots and has been criticized for its management of the crisis. According to official records, a little over 1,000 people were killed, three-quarters of whom were Muslim. Independent sources estimated 2,000 deaths, mostly Muslim. A special investigative team appointed by the Supreme Court of India in 2012 found no evidence to initiate prosecution proceedings against him. While his policies as chief minister were credited for encouraging economic growth, his administration was criticized for failing to significantly improve health, poverty, and education indices in the state. So he's basically, his administration basically I guess are kind of being held responsible or being criticized for not managing an incident that resulted in the deaths of thousands of Muslims. Well, I ain't even gonna lie, but with the situation that he had in Virgo, I'm not gonna lie, this guy, first of all, he's a politician. You feel me? I pretty much take the perception that all world politicians and officials aren't the best of guys. That's all I'm gonna say. You feel me? It's not a thing that I have with India, or it's not a thing that I have with any particular country. I just don't feel like these guys, no matter where they're from, are the best of guys. But with Modi's 11th house, I'm not gonna lie. He could be a little racist, but we gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say no more, right? I don't want to piss nobody off. But yeah, so but this is the fifth 11th narrative, right? Being criticized for his management or for its manager, his administration being criticized for its management of a particular crisis. Kings are basically managers of the states or the kingdom where they reside. You know what I'm saying? When certain situations happen, it's like it's a certain level of response, or it's a certain level of delegation, or a certain level of thing that is supposed to be implemented in order to bring balance and order within the kingdom. You know, and with that Rahu that he has, it can shows like certain shots that are called, certain decisions that are made can lead to more harm than good. And I'm not even gonna lie, with that Rahu in the fifth, that he made these things may have been the decisions may can be made intentionally, knowing that they aren't the best of decisions, or knowing that you know it can not be in alignment with dharma or righteousness, but you don't care. It's your ego, it's your authority, it's what you want to do, so you don't really give a fuck. You're gonna do it anyway. Uh so let me get let's see. His administration increased direct foreign investment, so basically money going out of the country and investing into other countries, and reduce spending on healthcare, education, and social welfare programs. I mean, that doesn't sound too good to me, but I mean, I'm thinking it's mixed reviews on this guy. Like I'm not over there. I'm not in India. I'm not necessarily aware of their political arena, or you feel me? Uh the shit that's going on over there. But I know the guy receives a lot of criticism, but I ain't gonna lie. you know, when I see this nigga on TV, or you feel me, from what I've seen, at least in regards to social media, which is very little, he seems to have a good amount of respect and reverence, you know, from his country, or some, the folks in his country at least. But I guess it could be the same way with like Trump. Like, a lot of people in the States hate Trump, a lot of people like Trump, yada yada yada, right? Uh Modi began a high profile sanitation campaign and weakened or abolished environmental and labor laws. Weaken or abolish environmental and labor laws. His demonstration of banknotes in 2016 and introduction of goods and service taxes in 2017 sparked controversy, a lot of controversy in the decision. That's why in the fifth. Modi's administration launched the 2019 Balakot airstrike against an alleged terrorist training camp in Pakistan. I even heard the nigga is actually aligning, or I think backing Netanyahu right now in a situation with Palestine. So I mean, if he's doing that, I ain't gonna lie. This is like, yeah, man. But we gonna keep reading. Introduced the Citizenship Amendment Act, prompting widespread protests and spurring the 2020 yada yada. Muslims were brutalized and killed by Hindu mobs. 3 controversial farm laws led to sit-ins by farmers. Yada yada yada. So a lot of gang shit. That's Rahu in the fifth house type shit. Gang shit. Let's see. Oh yeah, so this is definitely going to highlight the fifth and 11th axis. So he was basically, so Narendra's Modi evolution from quintessential organization man of the BJP to one of India's best known leaders, recognized for his good governance over a span of a decade, tells a story of grit, determination, and strong leadership in the face of grave adversity. So he was the leader of some political organization, like he was aligned with a higher social political organization before he accepted the sole role, or the single role identity, as basically the minister, prime minister, or governor, or basically king of whatever particular state in India. No. Mm, or the state of India, my fault. Let's see. So yeah, brain fart. But now he basically went from the 11th house organizations to the fifth house kingship. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. What did I see in this? That's some same shit. It's a different nigga. In the fifth house, Rahu in the fifth, it also, I meant to mention, it can also, marriage might not be the best or the easiest of things for these individuals, because you basically, you don't want to conform to another party. You won't want to have to feel like you have to conform or to uh answer to another authority. You're very much so trying to get into your king bag. So for men especially, it might be best to either be polygamous or just be out here doing your thing. You know, I mean, this combination can work for women, but I've known, I mean, marriage in this combination can work for women. It can work for anybody, but I've recognized that, you feel me. It's just due to the own person's ego and to what they're striving to, or what they're trying to get to. You feel me? Marriage might not be the most suitable option to path for these people. Modi himself, he got married at I guess, a younger age, and he quickly ended the marriage, and he didn't even reveal that he was married. Until like mad years after and whatnot. But yeah, that's all I got for this access right now. I might revisit it, or with questions, or not questions, or I might update, by posting certain comments in the comment section or whatnot later on as they come to me. But Deontay Bay, peace and blessings.